Welcome to your 25-minute Rejuvenating and Renewing yoga flow. Connecting breath to movement, we are going to let ourselves release deeper into a sequence of poses that will aim to work our entire body and mind. If you're ready, please grab your mat and let's begin. We're starting today in easy seated pose. Our sit bones connected to the mat, palms open, rested on the knees, eyes closed, drishti or gaze brought inward. Let's take a few inhales through the nose and out through the mouth. Throughout today's class, as always, I want you to listen to your own body. This is your practice and your practice only. And whenever you feel that mind wandering, I want you to bring your attention back to the breath. The inhale and the exhale. Setting our class intention today to release all that no longer serves us. In your own time, come to the front of the mat, stretch forward, and vertebrae by vertebrae, bring yourself down to the mat, into Savasana now, or corpse pose. And we're just going to allow the body to feel really heavy here, weighting ourselves down to the earth, letting gravity really do the work, letting the feet loll out naturally as they wish to. Arms are relaxed along the side of the body, palms facing up. Crown is not tipped back too far. Chin is naturally tucked into the chest. On your next exhale, make a conscious effort to release any tension you're carrying. Release any weight you are bearing in the body. Corpse pose is an excellent posture to let natural strain release and align the entire body before we begin our practice today. So now let's bring some movement to the toes and the feet. Then the hands, the fingers, the wrists. Some circles. If you're alternating one direction, make sure to reverse it, bring it back the other way. We want to achieve symmetry in yoga. I'm going to bring that movement up into the knees now, bending the knees, planting the soles of the feet to the earth, and dropping the knees down towards the left, bringing them back up towards center, and then dropping them to the right, into our reclined windshield wipers. This pose is brilliant to invite some mobility and flexibility into the hip area. And in your own time, we are going to draw the knees in towards the chest, clasping the hands behind the knees into our Panasana. Now you can take the hands to the outside of the knees here, or you can even bring those hands further along the forearm in your grasp. We're going to find a gentle rock side to side here, massaging the lumbar spine area, the lower back. And this knees to chest pose is also sometimes called wind relieving pose because of its great detoxifying properties, compressing the internal organs. And then when you're ready, you're going to extend your left leg out to the ground, drawing just the right knee in towards the chest now. Finding that gentle rock side to side if that feels good for your body. Going deeper into that single-legged Apanasana now. Remembering to breathe. Keeping that mental focus with the breath. With the inhale and the exhale. When you're ready, we're going to draw the left knee in towards the chest now and extend that right leg out. Our single-legged Apanasana on our other side, finding that gentle rock side to side if it feels good. Take note here of how the different sides of the body feel different. Does this side feel looser? Or is there more resistance? And in your own time, we are going to drop that left leg down to the mat. And then we are going to raise the hands above the head as we stretch out into our reclined pencil pose. We're holding our body really taut here, really stretching our entire frame before we contract again, drawing the knees back in towards the chest. Keeping the upper body relaxed on the mat and finding a gentle rock back and forth. If it feels good for your body, you can explore making some circles outwards with the knees, really allowing the hip and pelvic area to open further. Now we are going to close the knees, find our hands to ideally the outside of the feet, and draw the knees down towards the ground on either side of the body. The hands can also be at the ankles or even the knees here, as the head and neck is relaxed as we find our happy baby. Remember that our bodies are all totally unique and individual. Listen to your body here. If it feels good to introduce a gentle rock side to side, then I invite you to do so. Remembering to breathe. Deep inhale through the nose. Long exhale out through the mouth. And we're holding this pose for a little longer here. Really allowing those knees to be pulled down by gravity. That hip, glute area to really open and release deeply. On your next inhale, you are going to extend your feet up towards the sky, flexing the feet and slowly bringing the feet towards the ground before we bend the knees and plant the soles to the mat, taking a quick windshield wipe here. This should feel great on the hips after that longer held happy baby. Now we are going to come to our reclined spinal twist with a modification here. We are going to take the right leg, cross it over the left. We're going to extend the arms into a T-bar shape and gently look over our right shoulder as we allow the knees to fall down towards the left. Really allowing gravity to once more support us as we release any tension that we're carrying in the body. Both shoulder blades are grounded. If that's too intense on the neck with the looking over the shoulder, just release the neck back to neutral position. remembering to breathe. Inhaling through the nose always, exhaling through either the mouth or the nose. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up to center, uncross the legs, and let's take a little windshield wipe. We're just preparing to go to our other side. And when you are ready, let's bring those knees to a standstill, crossing the left knee over right now and dropping both knees down towards the right as we look gently over our left shoulder. Again, we're keeping those shoulders grounded. Taking a deep inhale and a long exhale. Our supine spinal twist is brilliant to promote detoxification in the body and stimulate the internal organs. Over time, flexibility and health across the entire spine is also encouraged. Sink deeper on your next exhale. And in your own time, bringing the knees back up to center, uncrossing the legs. And let's take one last windshield wipers here. Draw the knees now in towards the chest, and to challenge yourself now, try bringing that forehead up towards the knees. Extending back to the earth and stretching out, opening in the other direction. Using the momentum of the arms, let's sit up to seated staff pose now. Crossing the legs, crossing the ankles, and coming towards the back of the mat into modified hero's pose. Sitting the glutes back upon the heels. Knees are bent and together. And to just lengthen that spine. Take a couple of inhales here. And when you are ready, we are going to walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead down to the mat and dropping into our child's pose. Now you can open the knees to either side of the mat to create a little bit more space in the hip area if you're feeling a lot of tension there. Find what feels good on your body. The knees can either stay together or stay open, but the toes are always together. Our weight is distributed mostly into our glutes, sitting back towards the heels. Our arms are extended ahead of us into this modified version. Alternatively, you can bring the hands back along the side of the body for a full child's pose variation. Bringing your mental focus back to the breath, back to the inhale and the exhale. And then on your next inhale, we are going to roll forward to our hands and knees pose, dropping the pelvis, bringing the feet and the legs back, tucking the elbows in towards the chest, coming up briefly to our Sphinx pose. Tilting the chin up, opening the chest, elbows are at a 90-degree angle. And then dropping the forehead down, planting the fingertips with both hands, and lifting up into our cobra 3 times here. Really finding strength and release in this upper body opening posture. And when you are ready, sitting back to the heels once more into a quick child's pose. Remembering to breathe and allowing that chest to sink deeper on the exhale. And in your own time, walking the hands back towards the knees, sitting up back to our modified hero's pose, and transitioning fluidly by crossing the ankles, rolling back to seated, and then stretching the legs out in front of us, flexing the feet into our seated staff pose. Going to take a couple of arm extensions here, bringing the hands above the head together into prayer position and down through the chakra line on the exhale. Making sure we are sat on our sitting bones here and not back on our coccyx as we dive the fingertips down towards the toes, hinging from the hips, and then dropping the upper body down towards the knees. No matter how far down you are here into this seated forward fold, you can bend your knees to make it a little bit easier on the back of the legs. And come up further with the forehead if you're finding it difficult for hinge from the hips there. You can also place a bolster underneath the forehead or underneath the knees to support. And then we are going to roll up back to our seated staff position before we pull the right foot in towards the inner left thigh, tucking it, extending the arms above the head, and coming down now with the fingers to the toes once more into our single-legged forward fold. Bringing some deep hip opening into an already deep release position for the legs. Keeping the feet flexed. And then rolling back up. Extending the legs out and moving to our left side now. Drawing the sole of the left foot, tucking it in to the inner right thigh. Extending the arms above the head on the inhale and exhaling, folding from the hips and then dropping the upper body. Our drishti, our gaze, is always at the knee here in our seated forward folds. Remember to breathe here. And when you are ready, let's roll up back to our seated position. Scoot forward to the front of the mat. Let's reach forward. And then let's roll back vertebrae by vertebrae down to the mat, dropping the body weight once again. Let's draw the knees into the chest, back into our Panasana, taking a rock side to side, which should feel really good on the hips and the legs here, and the glutes. And then if it's not too much on the neck, let's bring the forehead to the knees and clench everything just for a second. And then let's release to the mat, bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to open into our reclined butterfly. Optionally here, you can place the palms on the top of the thighs and push away to enhance that decompression in the lower spine. Welcoming in pelvic stability, mobility in the knees, and deep opening in the hips. Totally natural in our butterfly pose, whether seated or reclined, to have emotions arise. And if that happens, accept it, let it pass you by, and return your mental focus back to the breath. Now we are going to bring the knees back together, plant the soles of the feet, draw the heels in slightly more towards the glutes, and lift and raise the glutes, clenching them, lifting the hips up, lifting the back up to the cervical spine, and then slowly starting with the upper back, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing yourself back down to the ground out of our reclined bridge pose. Drawing the forehead back towards the knees, clenching everything in again one last time, and then dropping the upper body, extending the knees out, relaxing the feet, bringing the hands to the side of the body, palms facing up, as we find our last pose of the class today, Savasana. Allowing the body to feel really heavy here. Feeling all of the tension and the weight you were carrying melt down into the earth. We are going to take a pranayama technique called ocean breath here. You are going to inhale through the nose, deeply filling up the lungs. And on the exhale, you are going to breathe out of the mouth, constricting the back of the throat ever so slightly to create a gentle humming sound. Finding 2 more breath cycles of our ocean breath here, a powerful technique to reduce anxiety in the body, to help deepen our meditation practices, to bring clarity to the mind, and to help clear the airways in a targeted session of breath work. If you haven't already, release your ocean breath and come back to a natural, steady flow. In your own time, I invite you to blink the eyes and bring some gentle movement to the fingers and the toes. Let's invite that movement into the entire body, a little somatic wiggle here, just moving and wiggling the body however feels good to you. And this is going to look different for everyone here. Our bodies are completely different. Find what feels good. Bring some movement to that physical as you come back to the body. And when you are ready, we are going to bend the knees, plant the feet, extend the arms above the head, bringing the hands together into prayer position. And using the momentum of the arms, we are going to sit up, cross the legs, and come to the center of the mat to end our class together. Lengthening the spine and opening the palms, resting them on the tops of the knees. Let's take some shoulder rolls backwards now, up, down, and away. A few times, drawing the shoulder blades together, and then tipping the crown back, slowly back to center, and then tucking the chin to chest just a couple of times here, bringing some movement to the cervical spine. Coming back to center, and then let's bring that movement just side to side, a couple of head shakes here. Coming back to center and drawing the left ear down towards the left shoulder, back up to center, and then the right knee down towards the right shoulder. Finding that movement a couple of times. Again, just stretching that lateral side of the neck, that masseter muscle. Coming back to center and taking a few arm extensions here. Bringing the hands over the head on the inhale, meeting in prayer position and down through the chakra line to the heart space. Let's take one last inhale here. Let's bring our hands to heart and bow to ourselves as we finish our 25-minute practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the mat. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you liked this video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more.